Dance all, I mean everything.
Evening, actually. It's getting closer to the evening. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and thank you for your patience as well. I'm very happy to see all of the young faces inside here. These are the faces that should be in the room for a conversation like this. I am your host, Shania M. Hoffman. Tonight I will take you through a conversation with the Prime Minister, who is on his way, with Dawson Lewis, who is a member of the Recording Academy, or the Grammys, as we know it, and of course, the person most of us have come here to see, Masicka. But before that, let me ask you a question before we officially begin. How many of you have had a dream that you have not started yet?
Everybody.
So we have one, we have two. I think we don't dream inside here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call on you and ask you to tell us what the dream is. I just want to see the hands. Just want to see the hands.
No, we got it.
Okay, I'm not going to call on anybody. I'm going to point out like I'm teaching in the class. All right. So, not because you don't want to, but because you're not sure how. Not because you don't believe in the dream, but because you're not sure if it's possible. Right? Let me see the hands again. Because I know there are more hands than that. We have to be honest. There's something that you want to do, something that's burning deep inside of you that you want to accomplish. You don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to talk to. And you don't know if it's possible. Right? See my friend in the green shirt. I know you have a dream now. I know a lot of you have a dream in here that you haven't started yet. And that's why we are here this evening. So today is not just about music. Yes, music is the main focus, but what it's actually about is talking about what it actually takes to move from where you are to where you say you want to be, right? Now, this is not mandatory, but I know somebody in here might just be brave enough to tell us what that dream is. I'm not going to point on anyone. I'm not going to pick on anyone who called their names. I'm going to wait on like 10 of you to volunteer and rush up here and grab the mic from me and tell me what your dream is. And you're already shaking your heads. You want the dream or not? It's a question. Do you want the dream or not? You can't. Why you can't tell us?
Because I don't really block it.
You have to keep it inside. You say people might block it. I heard somebody else say somebody's going to steal it from you. I think I heard that somewhere in the crowd. So I think the better question now would be, and I think this would get some more responses, is what has stopped you from getting to that dream?
Friend.
Okay. What's the other one? Friends, what else? Bread?
Family too.
I'm sorry. The opportunity to not get it done, okay?
Money.
That's you know what? That's the answer that I expected to hear first. Fear. What are you afraid of? Oh, I heard a good one over here. Your fear, failure. So you're busy. Yeah. So you fear. What are some of the other fears that you think keep people, not just you, from reaching their goals, from reaching their dreams, from manifesting that greatness that we're going to talk about today? Support. What type of support?
Kind of support.
Like a what?
From
From friends and family. Okay, so you have that type of support, having a support system. A friend over here, monetary support. Don't be afraid to say it. This is the room that you need to say that in, right? Consistency. Consistency is a good one. One that I can give you. Discipline.
Right. And trust.
And trust, that's a good one. Focus is a good one as well. Loyalty. Because some of the dreams that we have require more than just us. You know, you think you might be an island, you think you might be able to do everything you want to do on your own, but most, if not all of the things that you really want to accomplish require a team, right? And talking about teams, before we even started, I had a conversation with two of the members of Masicka's team, and I can tell you that team that he has, they are powerhouses. I was immediately impressed because they came, they asked questions, they were focused, they were pinning down everything. So it's not that, anybody's being difficult by asking questions, is that you want to see exactly what you're doing and where you're going, right? So a lot of times we don't accomplish it because we don't know how to start. With that, I would like to call on first person to just walk into the room, somebody who needs no introduction, a man who believes in the power of young people, the power of progress, and the power of audacity, even that audacity I told you about. You want a job?
No, you got the job?
You got the
It's not there yet?
See? Good. So, with that, I would like to introduce to the mic for a few remarks the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Gaston, better known as Masicka.
Thank you very much, distinguished dear lady. I believe we have the real superstar on his way in, so let me just pause for him to take his seat. Masicka, Pauline. Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for coming out in your numbers. I wish that we had more time to have more of you here, but I see that we have a full house, and this little engagement is very important. We've asked Masicka, who, as you know, is an international dancehall artist, a man with a number of hits, well known to the youth, and we believe that he has some inspiring words for you. So tonight is not really about me. You see me all the time, you hear from me all the time. You hear from me probably every Saturday for Vitamin Island, Point FM. You know my views. I may reiterate a few of them. But the real man to address it tonight is the great Masicka. And you know what? I'm hoping that he can inspire a few of you to get into music and to become the Antiguan Masicka. You know what I mean? As we keep saying, to all Antiguans and Barbudans, especially our youth, level up. Let me say level up, man. Level up. That's right. That's what we're doing. We're leveling up. You know what I mean? We speak about the Renaissance, and the Renaissance is about a new era of progress and development. No one will be left behind. We're creating many opportunities for you. Opportunities in the creative arts, opportunities for university education, opportunities for you to learn a trade at Abyss. Many of you, I would have met with you a couple of years ago when you were involved in gang warfare. I would have warned you all about the issue of crime and violence. That crime and violence does not pay, and certainly those who engage in crime and violence will surely pay. And I'm sure you'll have seen that a couple of youth since then would have gone astray and would have paid for the violence and certainly the crime that they would have engaged in with their lives. We don't want that to happen to you, and especially when you have alternatives. It's alternative for you to work. In fact, there's sufficient jobs created in this country that every single youth in this country can get a job today. You may not get the job that you want. And I know many of you from this community, you love to say that you want to go down to the port. But if all you all go down to the port will sink. So you have to understand that the port cannot take on everybody. And if you get a little job, even if it's a low-paying job in the hotel sector, at public works, you know what? It's survival now. You need security to it. Start somewhere.
Yes.
Many of you may not know this, but when I left A-levels, I went to St. James's Club to work as a waiter. And people are laughing, why a waiter? Why you don't go work in a bank? Well, I'd applied to the banks at the time. I'd applied to the airlines, and I didn't get a call. But, I lived in a home with a mentally ill mother, and man had to eat. So the man had to find work to do. And I went to work at St. James's Club as a waiter for a month. And then at that time, I got a call from 2 airlines, got a call from a bank, Swiss American banking group, and I took the bank job and eventually moved from a teller to the commercial banking manager, the deputy general manager, and then transition into politics. So it doesn't matter where you start. Just do something constructive. in this community at Village School, we establish a music lab for you to do your music. We're now establishing one in the community at the ICT Center in Point. Within the next 60 days, that will be completed. And the whole idea is to provide you with the opportunity so that you can make your music using AI and obviously bringing people to teach you so you can write. Because this idea about just plug and play with AI, that is extremely vulgar. But if you're going to use AI to enhance your writing skills and to enhance your music, there's nothing wrong with that. And that is why I'm establishing this facility in Point at the ICT Center. We're doing some repairs currently. I already have thousands of dollars of equipment, and I'm doing it for you. Now, all these opportunities that we're creating for you, I'm hoping that you'll seize the opportunities. You know, when I grew up, nobody paid for me to go to the music class. If I had that opportunity, I'd probably have been a musician. The closest I got to playing music was when I went down to Harmonites as a little barefooted boy in the 1970s. And at that time they chased me because they're thinking, like a thinking dirty boy from Pint can't make the team. I said, alright, no worries. But if they weren't so society at the time, I would have been a band player. But they chased me because, I didn't have the sophisticated look that they wanted at the time for the band. The only youth that I recall who got in at the time was a gentleman, a young man by the name of Jerry Edmond at the time. A very well-groomed person, he had shoes and so on, so I used to boast and take young, be like a dirty boy around me. The point I'm making here, it doesn't matter your socioeconomic standing. We are creating opportunities for all of you. The music program that we have here is going pretty well. I'm told that we have enough musicians now that we can have about 3 bands. And we want to expand it open to all of you. So rather than pursuing idleness, a life of crime and violence, we engage in sports, in music, be productive. And don't worry about your station in life. You may be in poverty today, but a few years from now, you may emerge as a minister, you may emerge as a prime minister, you may emerge as a lawyer, doctor. It's not where you are today. It's not how weak you may have started. The key thing now is to seize the opportunities and to finish strong. Let me hear you say finish strong.
Finish strong.
Absolutely. And let me say this to you all, yeah? All of us practically are born with equal ability. So really, not better than none, just as some of us get better opportunities. Every occasion, maybe once every century, you may get an Einstein. But none of us are Einsteins. All of us are practically the same. But some of us seize the opportunities that come to us, and others squander the opportunities. And what I'm here to do is to ask you to seize the opportunities, even the engagement that will take place with Masicka. Listen to him carefully. Listen how he was able to transition to music, how he has become a Caribbean and worldwide superstar. And it is people like him that we should emulate. In fact, he's actually assisting us with a youth outreach, and that is why he's here today. We're not paying him, he came here voluntarily to assist. And I hope that other local artists that will use this as an opportunity to reach out as well to youth throughout the country. It shouldn't take Masicka to come from Jamaica to come here to help our youth. We want our people to reach out too. The T.N. Winters, the Claudia Peters, all of them, Menace. We've gotten a lot, and as they've said, to whom much is given, much is expected. We must give back to the respective communities. I want to see even the sirs as well in Burning Flames to go and reach out to our students to encourage you all to get involved in their extracurricular activities that will help you to become more wholesome individuals and to make more significant contributions to nation building. That is how we build a society and ensure that our youth are productively engaged. So again, I want you all to set yourselves high ambitions, notwithstanding whatever your position may be. Even if you're living in abject poverty, even if you have to go to school hungry, make sure that you understand that you have to get the skills and to develop the habits, the positive habits to be a good citizen, a productive citizen. And opportunities will open up for you. Don't worry about your position today. I mean, at times, for example, using myself as an example, I had to go to school hungry. It didn't stop me. And what is important is to be contented. No matter the little food you may have at home, don't worry about them with the steak and so on, and the caviar, because they're bad foods. You do the rice and peas. And watch your face, just eat the food, drink like water, and you're going to play, you live longer. But if you're gonna watch TV and you want all the fancy foods and all the fancy clothes, how you get it? A thief, you got to be a thief. And when you go and thief people things, what do you think will happen? They'll hurt you. Or you end up in jail. And as I said to you all, it's possibly two options, you know, when you're involved in life and crime and violence. You either go to jail or you go in the grave. We don't want it for our youth. And that is why we're here to encourage you to stay positive, to stay along the straight and narrow, to make your mother, your father, your family proud, to make yourselves proud as well, to look back from whence you came, the struggle that you had in this community, and the way in which you've been lifting yourselves and seizing opportunities that we're creating for you. So, without going on and on, again, I just want you to engage with Masicka. I'm sure he'll take questions to me as well. You also will be doing a song. I'm sure you all didn't know that we did a song a few months ago, Put It Down. It's about the youth putting down the guns, and he's going to produce that for us. I'm sure when you hear it, you'll go, rap, 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 rap. You know what I mean? Put down the guns. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prime Minister, for that intervention. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, but where you're heading to and doing what you need to do to get there. And just a little personal story for me. My daughter's in the audience, right? My daughter is 15 years old. I had my daughter at 17. I just finished high school. I had my daughter at 17, and I'm standing here as the host of this program, the Prime Minister, one of my favorite artists, and a recording academy member. Anything that you want to do, anything that you can envision, you can get that. Yes, University of the West Indies, 5 Islands campus specifically. So, ladies and gentlemen, just before we have our conversation with Masicka, we have a few more remarks for you. Join me in welcoming Dawson Lewis, who is a music industry executive. He is a label founder, a recording academy member, better known as the Grammys, with over 10 years of experience in artist management and global music operations across 32 international markets. He also brings some private sector experience here as well, working with major brands and corporate partnerships, including Coca-Cola, bridging businesses and the creative industry. We're going to talk to you a little bit about bridging leadership and youth, as well as brand management and intellectual property, something that we often forget as creative. Let's welcome Dawson Lewis.
All right. Good evening. And thank you, Prime Minister. Masicka, big up yourself, the team. And it's great to see so many young people here, but particularly young men. And I think many of us in this room would understand the importance of the young men in our society. And maybe you don't yet understand your importance, but hopefully you'll start understanding some of that today as you hear from myself, and as you heard from the Prime Minister and obviously Masicka later on today. I want to start by challenging you a bit about leadership. And most of you, when you hear that word, you probably think about a title, a boss, a CEO, a general manager, maybe even an artist. But I'm going to encourage you to start looking at yourselves as leaders. And what is a leader? It means someone who has decided to take a path, maybe outside of the norm, right? Prime Minister just spoke about your reality doesn't necessarily need to be the reality of your future. But one of the things that I'd like to touch on based on even those comments is the decisions you make now. And that's the bridge between where you are now and where you'll be 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years from now. If you're a leader, you obviously have someone who's looking up to you, and most of you do. Maybe you don't recognize that yet, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, who are you following? Because leaders also have to be followers. So you want to be following people who are going in the same direction, have the same mindset, trying to achieve the same goals that you're also attempting to achieve. And if you're not, and there's a quote that says you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So you need to start thinking about who are the people that you're around, what are they doing, what is it that I'm trying to do, what am I trying to accomplish, and where I'm trying to be. And if those people aren't aligning with those things that you're thinking about, then obviously you need to start thinking about some change. Now, we can talk about music a little bit, but there's so much more that comes from music, and the idea of music is that, and one of my favorite quotes around music and art is that it imitates life. Masicka is probably one of the greatest storytellers of our time. Not probably, I say he is. But why does his music resonate with us? Has any of you ever asked yourself that question? Because he's telling a story that is true, that resonates with most of us as Caribbean people, whether we're from Jamaica, Maypen, or we're from Villa in Antigua, or you're like me, from Calder in St. Vincent. What's interesting is the Prime Minister said a little bit about his story, and so did our host. I'm from a little village in St. Vincent and the Grenadines called Calder. And it looks a lot like this actually. And just like our host said, I don't know if I thought I'd be standing here today. I knew I wanted to be standing here. And the reality is, I knew the decisions that I needed to make, I knew the people that I wanted to have around me, and I knew the people that I needed not to have around me, and I had to find people to follow. So what's interesting is, there are three guys in the corner on the right side. Most people in this room don't know who they are. Masicka does. How long you know these men?
So, me and my engineer been traveling for 15 years. You know what I mean? So we start off together, we start off the music together. So commitment and loyalty have a lot to do with direction. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not speed, because some people going nowhere fast. So it's just finding the right team with the right energy. So you see that my family right there, so, and all of them on my team. So we've been and do this thing for a while now, you know what I mean? Yeah man, big up.
Thank you. So the point is, team and direction, the people you have around you. You don't go anywhere without the right team, without the right people. Right? And I'm pretty sure Masicka will tell you, he probably doesn't go anywhere without these guys. Yeah? So, but it doesn't start now. You're talking 15 years ago. Right? I don't think he was the artist he is today at that point. The other part is, they also had to believe in him. So you better find some people around you who believe in you. And you have to start now. Right? So I'll close with this. There's a couple of things I'd like to leave you with, just to think about. You are your brand, right? If you're always late, that's your brand. If you're consistent and serious, that's also your brand. If you're known for talent and respect, that's also your brand. I'd say that's Masicka's brand. If you create something, and we'll talk about intellectual property a little bit, which is music, then one of the things you have to do is protect it. How many of you in here are in the music space, writing songs, making music? Okay? How many of you know what a PRO is? One? Good. How many of you are members of a PRO? Only one? So everyone knows what a PRO is, but only one person is a member. You're a member? Okay, which one? BMI. Good. Alright, so for those of you who may not know a little bit about this piece, protecting your music is not just a one-man job. There's a lot of people involved in that process. But one of the first things you should look at is a PRO. And PRO is an acronym, PRO, Performing Rights Organization. In the Eastern Caribbean, which includes Antigua, there's one particular called ECCO, ECCO. There should be a rep for Antigua. I'm not sure who that person is, we can find out and share it. But the reality is that's your first step in protecting your content, right? Now, it's simple. If you create it, you should protect it. And that's part of protecting it. If you share it, you should know who you're sharing it with. If you grow it, you should also benefit from it. And that's my favorite piece. If you make something that's yours, you should also make sure that you're benefiting from it. A PRO is the first step to making sure that you benefit from it. There's also something called a publisher. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'm going to be around afterwards because I have limited time. But if you'd like to have a conversation about more of it, happy to do it. There are also some digital communities you need to be part of. Song Trust, Sound Exchange, which manages your digital play of anything played. And obviously you understand the importance of anything digital in the world we live in today. So all of this ties together, and then I know it's an interesting forum, to be fair. We have a Prime Minister, we have a major recording artist, and you have me, and I'm a nobody. But I think one thing that we all have in common, I think everybody on this stage, and many of us in this room, is that we made a lot of decisions at a very young age, and many of you are young, that determined where we are now. So, you may not see it, but there are decisions you need to make today that will determine where you stand 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 30 years from now. Thank you. I am here for questions and happy to have a conversation with anybody who would like to know more what I can teach, and also I'm always happy to learn from others as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dawson. And that's where the remarks end and where the conversation begins. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to clear the stage for a little bit, and then we're going to set up for the moment that we've all been waiting for, our featured conversation with Masicka. So give us about 2 minutes or so, let's clear the stage, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, check. Yeah. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. It looks like they might have to share. So,
One they got.
we might have to share, or we might have to project. Let's see what the mic allows us to do, right? But before we get into anything, I want you to take us back to the beginning. Who was Masicka before the
Check. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, yeah, man, blessings. Good to go? Alright, so how it all started, you know what I mean? I grew up in a similar conditions like any other ghetto youth, you know what I mean? I grew up with a single mom in a poverty. Some of the circumstances you'd have to see for believing, you know, but the thing is, I always want better for my family. I think my mom was one of the reasons why I dedicate myself so much to the music and so much to change it, you know what I mean? So, I wasn't a perfect child either, you know what I mean, because we're growing up, you know, but I know I never really want to become a product of the environment, so. But I love school, So I always read, I always knowledgeable, and I always try to gain information. Because you don't know in the garrison, we see what we surround with, you know what I mean, and we see the cars and what we dead. So I try to escape that environment there, you know what I mean. So it so happened that I meet a friend when we used to go to Calabar High School, you know what I mean, I meet a friend and we start venturing to the music, you know, and he realized as the speaker did, I say, you have people who believe in you. So we did have some youths who believe in me, you know what I mean, and other man that I don't want to become the product of the environment, and you know, I see my mother struggle, trying to make ends meet to send me to school every day, but couldn't feel that, you know what I mean, so I never have no option than becoming somebody in life, you know what I mean. So this dream that we're living now started off from a tender age. So I ended up meeting the engineer, Donald Chen. I'm an engineer for 15 years, you know what I mean, and we work together with Toil, we back in the studio, write, and we eventually get the big bird, you know what I mean, with one heap of dedication, one heap of hard work. So it was similar starting like as me relate to any one of the youths them, you know what I mean, get a life, single mother, you know what I mean, but we just had the ambition and we had the drive, you know what I mean, and the love for my mother. And we just decided, say, this is not a permanent situation, you know what I mean, it's just time before, you know, yeah man.
Thank you for that. And what stood out to me for you is saying that you loved school and you loved reading. I think that really resonates through your music and the lyricism as well. Would you say that the environment you grew up in, you told us about the environment you grew up in, do you think that it still shapes your mindset to this day?
Definitely. You know, the tough circumstances make we a little more resilient, you know what I mean, and it creates tougher youths, you know what I mean. So enough times some things were like when I go out in the world and things will make people uncomfortable, or you know, we just go through them because we go through real struggles. We see mommy of a scuffle for find food to eat. So my mother used to sell, my mother was a vendor, you know what I mean. So those type of situations make you sit and think and realize, say, you know, this is not how I want tomorrow to be. So it changed me, it made me harder, it also made me wiser. So school for me was, so I go college too. So I go university and technology, you know what I mean? So yeah, but it wasn't an option because my mother no play. You know what I mean? Yeah. My mother no play, and as I said, growing in them tough circumstances, I couldn't put, you have a saying I say, all of your eggs in one basket. So I know some talented musical, but I still have to listen to my parents. Them don't want to hear the music. Them don't want to hear say, it's not that them don't believe, but have something else. Have some medication where you know say, alright then, if the music don't work, you can go get an office job, which I always want for work. I always want to do something. I always want to apply myself. So if it wasn't music, but I probably become a lawyer or whatever God set out for me. But them situations, it hardened me and it made me wiser, and it made me want to take my mother out of the garrison, want to change my family life, you know what I mean? So it done tremendously good for me. The thing is, you don't have to become a product of your environment. So your circumstances don't define you. So it's just like we have a conversation a while ago with the youths, man. You see, 5 minutes of your life can make you spend 15 years in a prison. So some things can talk over, conversations can happen. So me and you jump off and we have a simple conversation, a 5 minutes that we're not for 5, we're not for. So most of the times it's resolving issues are the youths their problem, and finding people where they can talk to, where they can confide in, because it take a village to raise the kids them, and enough of them really and truly don't have the proper guidance, and without the proper guidance, them can't navigate right through life, you know what I mean? And they're blessed to have, like my grandma wrote me, and certain people instill certain principles and morals from early, so I never lose them, never yet, no matter how big me get, how much hits I always know say, alright, my grandma, that I'm a love her, and I hold on to what she said, or my mom that I'm respect them. Even though I respect my father, I still call my father daddy. If he call me, I still listen, because the money don't make you. And the hit songs don't make you, you know what I mean? And your values and your morals are always intact. Yeah, man.
Definitely inspiring, and you know the resilience comes through not only in the music but in the way you spoke just now. But was there ever a moment where you felt like giving up, and what is it that kept you going and what still keeps you going?
Yeah, man, enough time. Definitely. In the initial stages, we are human beings, you know. So there has been time when I do the music and some progress is not visible. You know what I mean? Some progress and I go see it, and it take me a while to learn that. So it's not every achievement and every major change in your life are going to be a house or a car or, you know what I mean? You can learn a new word. You can stop smoke, stop drink. So it's direction in the right path will count. So a lot of time I get demotivated, but my mom, as I tell you, my family, my big man family, I love my son, I have a son early too. So I love my son, I love my mom. I never want to let them down. I think that was it for me, if I see how much my mom put in, how much she tried, knowing how hard life is. And then me forget my 24 hours and waste it. And it's not even like a reimbursing because you can't repay your parents for what they do. You know what I mean? It's just that I want you proud. I want my brother proud. I want to set an example for my sister. I want we can come out of the garrison. This is not, as I say, it's not permanent. It's just a situation, and once we apply ourselves, once we work hard, we can do it. So, yeah, man, quite a number of time, and you know, my friend, they motivate me. My friend, them have some good friends, some really good friends in my corner way. You know, keep me on the right track, keep me motivated, because as I tell you, I'm growing in an environment where I could have been anything else. Really, trust me, like if I should take on and show them, you know, where I come from, it would have been a surprise. But you know what I mean is, you know, we did really want to bring my mommy out, I bring my family, set an example for the youth, and man, you know, change my life.
Excellent. And before we officially started, I did a little bit of an exercise with our audience. Asked them about their goals, and I asked them what's keeping them from their goals and what their fears are. And many people spoke about support. They spoke about friends. So you guys know exactly what you are talking about. So take that as inspiration to keep moving forward. But speaking about moving forward, for many people, I mean myself included, hardball was a turning point. I mean that entire rhythm was hard, but hardball was a turning point. Did you know that at that moment things were about to change for you?
No. The thing is, we just work and stay optimistic, you know what I mean, and believe you're not going to know the exact time. So we never yet get demotivated either. I knew I had the talent and I knew I had the right team, but it's just when. So hardball was one of them turning point in my career for real. You know, people start realize the talent and, you know what I mean, but the support is what always make me feel like I make it without even making it. So you see, with good friends, good company, encouraging you, giving a good vibration, finding yourself around good environment is very important. You know what I mean? As a gentleman say, become the 5 persons every day. So if you have some friend who wake up and he want gain some knowledge, he want mix up rhythm, he want voice, it's hard for really deter him. And that I'm an engineer, he always want to do some music. So when I meet my engineer, I live like probably 40 minutes away from him. I'm going to go there every day. Like I was a youth with a problem every time. It's a problematic youth, you know what I mean? So growing up, you know, in an environment without him, that present, you know what I mean? There's so much your mom can do where disciplinary is concerned, you know what I mean? But when we meet my friend, man, I realized that, you know, we can change my life, we can reach somewhere with the right company, with the right team, with, you know, everything just become better.
Thank you. And a fun fact that a lot of people may not know is that I'm a dancehall person, right? We focus a lot on like soca and calypso here, but you know, being involved in the dancehall culture as well it is an interesting. And just a quick poll: who in here Hardball was the first song you ever heard from Masicka? No, the first ever one. The first ever one. No, it was before that, right? But that was the one that sort of it changed everything? Did that feel like a real breakthrough moment for you? And did it feel like a real success at the time?
No, because the thing is, you see, when you work, it's not like really. When we get the big break, it wasn't something where visible to the eye because we did already plant the seed, we did already do the work, go to the studio, you know, get the business right, toil every night, sing the songs up. So it just was only a matter of time. And then when you start reap, you not even can realize you reap so much because you plant so much seeds and set so much things and put so much things into places. So when it really happened now because the work was so intense and sometimes they not even get the chance to really admire what you have done because they know say there's a lot more to be done, there's a lot more to achieve, there's a lot more way to go. So, you know, we take it in strides, take it as it comes on. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
And how do you handle things like doubt, whether it's from yourself or others throughout your journey? How do you handle that?
Growing up in my environment, as I tell you, you have to do one heap of clapping for yourself. You know what I mean? There's not one heap of supporting and they get up in a certain homes. You know what I mean? And it's just things that pass down. One heap of parents they never get support, they have to do it themselves. So those is something that fuel me. I like when you count me up. That is one thing where yeah, I like when people doubt me. It give me the drive to prove. It's not like I have to prove to you, but doubt me, count me out, yeah man, cast me out so I can prove myself, so I can work overtime. So doubt is never hinder me, doubt is something will never hinder me no time at all, you know what I mean? I think the only person who can stop me is myself, you know what I mean? When I think God give nobody that power on earth to stop the next human beings, you know what I mean? You have everything inside of you what you need. So doubt is an external thing, it's just words and it don't really affect me. So, you know what I mean, when I really listen to doubt, I love, as in myself, I love when, personally, I like when people say, you can't do it. You know what I mean? So I can't just go ahead and prove that, bro. Yeah, man, definitely.
You're definitely speaking my language with that one. So your album 438 debuted at number 2 on the Billboard reggae chart. Did that feel like validation in the moment or motivation to push further or even a combination of both? Tell us what the feeling was like.
Yeah, 438 was my first official studio album. So when that hit the Billboard, trust me, was so happy, so happy. And I think 438 really changed my life. Like 438 changed my life indefinitely with a lot of things, and I mean, changed my mom life, changed my family life, changed, you know. So 438 was one of those things where was really a marker for me in the music. And to be honest, growing up in the music, I always hear say album don't sell and music don't sell until I drop 438. Yeah, so it really changed my life, and you know what I mean. And we put in some hard work into that, you know what I mean. Some different type of dedication. It took me, you know, months, but the results was mind blowing and it was life changing, definitely.
And for me, and I know a lot of people in the audience will agree that I think 438 like goes on the Mount Rushmore of modern dancehall albums for me. And I'm not just saying this because I am interviewing. One of the reasons I'm here is because I had to volunteer as tribute, you know, because it really shows that what you might think or what you might hear from people on the outside is not always the truth. It does not always obtain. But people see the success, whether it's the success of a single or album or a tour, but not the process behind that. What does that grind actually look like behind the scenes?
A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sleepless nights. My engineer can tell you a lot of sleepless nights. Sometimes I can't take my son to school, you know what I mean, I can't spend time with my family, but we sacrifice all of those things to give my son an opportunity for a better life. We give my family an opportunity for a better life. His son, you know. So the thing is, me believe in a planting the tree, not for myself. So the next generation can come enjoy the shade. You know what I mean? So the work part for me is never hard. You know what I mean? It's never hard because I dedicate myself and I know what I want to achieve. And I know what I could take to be great. I would say a lot of great men do it. We say Bob Marley, we say Sizzla, we say a lot of great men. You know what I mean? The Prime Minister tell us that you don't start off as a waiter and then move to the bank, you know what I mean? We used to work in a clothes store. So we used to hand up bags, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it's not where you start from as the Prime Minister said, it's just what you have inside you. You know what I mean? And yeah, man.
And you've also built a very strong international audience. It's not just, within the confines of the region. Was global reach always a part of the vision and the plan for you?
Yeah, definitely. That is why I try to keep the music diverse. So I read a lot, so I can relate. So current affairs is very important in music. So I know what I go on in Russia, I know what I go on in North America, I know what I go on. So I try to keep abreast of information. So while I pass it down, it at the correct information and you know what I mean? So going international was always a thing, you know what I mean? So I try to sing like girls song, I have some song for the thugs, I have song for mommy, I have song for everybody. So it's like having a restaurant. So I have fried chicken, I have curry goat, I have oxtail, I have shrimp. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I kind of make myself rounded, and most youths to do that in this time, the youths them have to layer, you know what I mean? Everything is not about brute strength and aggression and fighting. You see, knowledge is what they can take from you. When you strap yourself with knowledge, it make life easier. It make life easier to relate, conversation easier. It make going around and finding yourself in the earth easier, you know what I mean? Definitely.
And let me tell you, I went to South Korea last year, September, and when I heard Moments come on the club, I was like, okay, yeah, that's where it's at. When you hear the phrase manifesting greatness, what does that actually mean to you in real terms?
You have to believe, and I think a lot of what I achieve is manifesting. Because the first thing is, me used to tell my parents, said I'm going to become a professional artist, and nobody in my family never believed. It's not like they doubt me. It's just nobody has never done it. So it seemed far-fetched, and then I come from a small community with no musician. So it's not like I get any help. It's not like, alright. The first time I started recording music was Rasa. That is Donald, and he live in a different community. So I've never been to a studio where I live. Because, they're not really crowding in your own place, and I never want to kill my dream. Because I like my friend, close friends, so they say, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I find the appropriate people, share my ideas with, share my dreams with, Razia. I take a bus and go every day. So sometimes I'm not even a bus fare, but the conversation, the environment is all what I need to pitch me to the right direction. So I find the studio every day, I go there every day. So manifesting is real. Manifesting is really, really, really. So I meet a guy one time, I tell him, I said, figure out what you want and write it down 3 times every day. You know what I mean? And the thing with me, I always believe, say, I'm going to make it for some strange reason. I always believe, say, as I tell you, the situation is just for a time. You know what I mean? So I think about the dream every day. I see myself I perform on the stage every day. I write the song. So I never wait for the opportunity. I prepare myself. So when the opportunity come, I'm already ready. My pants on, my shoes on, the lyrics in my brain, the microphone in my hand. So I'm just gone when it reaches. You understand? Yeah, man.
And what is one mistake that you think you made maybe very early in your career that you would encourage young artists to avoid, if possible?
Listening is key. You know what I mean? They don't know it all. So you're not coming in an environment where I grew with my father. My head strong, you know what I mean? And my ego inflated as a youth. So I never used to listen a lot. You know what I mean? But as I tell you, I grew with my grandmother, I grew with my mommy, so there were certain things that were instilled in me. So it wasn't like, but against what I hear, it's just like it don't resonate with me because you know my family are, I don't want to hear what you say, I'm talented. So as time progresses, I really realize that a lot of people don't mean no harm. It's because somehow we grew up in an environment where we can't take constructive criticism. So if I don't like your pants, I don't like your pants, I don't like your shoes, and that means it doesn't mean someone hate you, I want to see you fail, or, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't like that song there, and I think you can write a better song and stuff like that. And you see most of the youths them, as I tell you, take that into context, then we can have a better society where you can look on a thing and say, alright, even my engineer right now I write a lot of songs to other artists. Come write songs to other artists, a lot of artists. Even with so much number one, if I'm going to the studio tomorrow and I can tell you, and then say, you know, I don't like that song there, but don't release it right now. Right now, but don't release it. We have songs like that right now. We're working on an album right now, and there are songs where it don't like, what we don't like, and we just say, alright, scrap that, go back to your drawing board. They're never too big for learn, you know what I mean? So some of the mistake there is not listening. You know what I mean? When we did younger, we grasp certain things, but I think, man, you know.
Let's talk about discipline now. Discipline compared to talent. How important is discipline? Because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not disciplined, you're not getting anywhere. We talked about listening just now. Let's talk a bit about discipline as well as having focus.
Talent is only one aspect. Talent can get you so far. Talent is not even. Without discipline, the talent is important. It not going to work. Because alright, you can have the best footballer and him drink and smoke and him not go training, but him not go can play for the 90 minutes. So being the best footballer doesn't even matter if you don't go to training. So discipline is what separates me from my peers, and I think is that what makes me so good in the musical space, you know what I mean, is I go studio every day. I have a studio at home, so I build a studio at home. So I'm in the studio 7 days a week, because I see it as a job. It's not just a hobby. Most people see it as a hobby where them dress up, they got the studio when they feel like, no, it's a job for me. So 7 days a week, studio, I don't do nothing else, you know what I mean? So discipline is very important in the aspect where I do it when I don't feel like doing it. And that is where separation comes in. So most people have to work when they feel good, or they might get a reward, or they might collect a pay, or there is something at the end of it. You know what I mean? And doing music, a lot of times there's nothing at the end of it. So you can studio for like 10 years of your life without no reward. But you know what you want, and you keep true to yourself, true to the dream. You know, say, alright, my engineer, I do this, my family, I look forward to this, I have my son at home. So it's not even me alone. So we can't stop right now. So discipline is very, very, very important in any aspect in our life. And I think that will shape most youths from becoming successful and unsuccessful.
Thank you. And you've also maintained lyrical discipline and consistency over time. What does it take to mentally stay focused at this level?
It take a lot because you know the traveling, different shows. I have to be a father, I have to be a brother, same way, a friend, be there for my family. So as I say, it's discipline, man, and that helped me to not get higher from my own supply in some sense. So I see the work what I do, but it's not like I say, that this big great entertainer. You know what I mean? So we do the work and we still have more to do. So it keep me humble, it keep me grounded. You know what I mean? I'm as I said from the start, I come from humble beginnings. You know what I mean? So what I achieve has never yet shaped who I am. So we stick to the plan. Know so we have a lot more to go, a lot more to give musically, you know what I mean? And yeah.
So we've talked a bit about focus, but let's talk about distractions. What are some of the distractions that our young artists need to keep away from if they want to reach those heights?
Enough distraction, enough distraction, you know what I mean? Ladies, you know? So yeah, the youths have to know say, the ladies them will come and if you're not firm, it will distract you. You know what I mean? In my early part of my career, that was one of my weakness. You know what I mean? Because I love the ladies, you know what I mean? But so we go all these Caribbean islands and all of them American big country and some place and you see the woman and some club you say, cha-cha. But at the end of the day, you have to remember why you start, and the thing that is scheme, you know, you have to remember where you come from, and that is what keeps me from not indulging in some things. You know what I mean? So definitely ladies, drugs is a big part. I stay away from drugs, you know what I mean? Destroy a whole heap of youth's future. You know, so drugs is the next thing. And I think just getting higher for your own supply where you think you make it. You know what I mean? That's the one thing where most youths think say they make it and then they really need to do no more, or you know, them think that your own ego can be a distraction too. You know what I mean? Women, drugs. You know, so just be yourself. Just be yourself and work hard and pray. You know what I mean? Yeah. Prayer is very good, you know what I mean? Yeah man, I stay humble every time.
Of course, and you're now seen as a role model across the Caribbean. Do you feel a responsibility that comes with that?
Yeah, definitely. And that is why, in the latter part of my career, I make a lot of changes to my lyrics, a lot of changes to my music. You know what I mean? In how I indulge in the music, how I carry myself, some of the things that I partake in. Because not just the role model for the youths, them have a son. So it starts from in the home. You know what I mean? So I have to be a dad, I have to ensure say he be a man and he have the right, you know, attitude and the right discipline. So from there to the music, so I start realizing it's bigger than what we used to think. It's not just songs. A lot of youths around the world look up to me, listen to my music, them emulate me, they want to build me. So, you know, it's something I tell the engineer every time, say, some forward and necessary if it'll lead the youth them in the wrong direction. Some money, it's not every money is good money, you know what I mean? And if we can do it in a way where it motivate the youths them and sing some song where when I degrade the woman them, you know what I mean, them still can vibe, them still can party. It's just, you know what I mean? Yeah man.
And if you had to create a formula for success with 3 key principles, right? So you have your key principles for your success. What would those principles be?
I would say discipline, hard work, and loyalty. Yeah, when I say that are the 3 main ingredients, you know what I mean, the youth them where you start out with, like people who actually believe in you from the get-go, who have the best interests at heart, will tell you the truth to your face. You need people like that. And then you need discipline, you need to know say, alright, I feel tired, I'm depressed, I'm down, but bills need to pay. You know what I mean? I need to go study, I need to achieve something. And discipline coming at the next farm where you might not be where you're at, but you know where you want to be. So here what? I'm going to risk some years of my life, but when I say risk is not the bad, so I'm going to do that job. I'm going to work 3 years right here, so save some money, take in some education, learn maths, learn something else, then move on to something else. So you have to tie yourself to that dream of becoming better and wanting better. Yeah.
And you've collaborated with quite a few artists as well. You write for a few artists, so you've collaborated with artists like Popcorn, Dexter, Dabs, etc. How important is collaboration in your growth as an artist?
Very, very important. Working with my musical brother then is very important, you know what I mean? And it spread unity, because more time the youth them have the wrong ideas too, you know what I mean? And them see the music as a competition, and it's really a family-like environment. So collaborating for me was always a major thing, you know what I mean? Good vibes, good energy when you're a similar pair coming from similar background, so like Popcorn, similar, you know what I mean, environment, ghetto, family couldn't make it. No, most of those artists, so when we can share the light in a different space now, you know what I mean, change the family life, you know what I mean, change the kids' life, and we can sit as big man now and looking back from how the journey did hard, and you know, it's tremendous feeling, wonderful feeling every time.
And beyond music, what does success look like for you?
You know, success for me is just seeing my son smile, seeing my mom happy. It's never vanity, you know what I mean? And them things that come and go, it's just see my family happy. As I tell them, I'm a big fan family, so spending time with my son living my all life, you know what I mean? So seeing my son happy, be able to change my mom's life, buy her house, you know what I mean, take care of my sister, send her to school. Those are the important things where we can know say, alright then, the impact them life in a different way, where they can look at their brother and say, You know, we come from a certain environment, but that doesn't mean so we can't be up in a society, we can't be like, you know what I mean? Like the high excellent people them. So that is what success means for me, like creating a better tomorrow. It don't have to be 10 steps, just one positive step in the right direction where my mom can feel proud, she can say, alright then, if get 90 on a test. You know, say, out of trouble, she not have to come look for me in prison. She not have to pick out a casket, she not have to, I said, boy, I wait do what it's, you know what I mean? So there's, yeah man, positive vibration.
And finally, looking ahead, what do you want your legacy to represent 20, 30, 40 years from now when you hear the name Masicka? What do you want people to think?
That is a tough one. What I really want people to think, just believing in yourself. More the youth can take my journey, where I start from, my path, and realize it can be done. You know what I mean? It can be done with little or no help. We just believing, good people, staying true to yourself, staying out of problem and staying on the right road. So but I want to use my journey for just reflect on hardship, reflect on strength, reflect on going forward and knowing that we can do it no matter where we come from, no matter how you start. You know what I mean? You can finish. And you don't have to finish at the pace what Michael finish or you see and Bolt or you finish on your pace, you write your own story. So be yourself. They can see my life and know say, I never try to be nobody else, I never try to emulate nobody, I never try. Just be yourself. Be 100% you, take your time, be confident and stay focused. You know?
And you said that was a tough one. I wonder how you'd have answered if it was an easy question. I think there's no better legacy. Just getting some information here. So our next segment is actually a question and answer segment. I know there are a lot of people in the room, a lot of voices in the room. We have time for about 2 questions. Oh wow, everybody's like 2? So we have some time for questions. So let's get the hands, let's see who has a question. Okay, so I saw orange shirt and black bucket hat first.
Okay, so well, quick question. Okay, as an artist growing up, me, dance an artist, I dancer, and you can kind of surround myself with the right environment, the right people, doing the right things, necessary things, but yet still not seeing myself at that point, either yet or just not seeing myself at that point, at the point in life.
Alright, so you see, just as where me and her did that talk about, the timing might be different. So you might never know next year you're the biggest dancehall artist. It's just keep working, stay focused, and don't get demotivated. There was a time when my engineer can tell you, like, my about to quit. And you see how music they play now, how much international collab, how much travel. And I really did about to quit, like literally. I go quit, you know what I mean? Because the bills them start get real. And you can't tell your mother say, you know what I mean? And my son need feeding and want food. Songs from CD can go in a supermarket to buy stuff, so they need a real job. Because this music thing and now put it, but you know what I mean is, I get a job, but I still never lose sight of what I set up and the music, so just stay focused. And sometimes, you see, the hardest challenge them come right before success. So I tell you, stay focused, keep the way you do. My engineer there and can send you some bad rhythm to motivate you. So yeah man, definitely my brother.
I'm not going to take 2, we can accommodate about 5. The Prime Minister also has something to say.
I want to send him to Jamaica for a few weeks.
Yes.
What I told y'all earlier when we started about getting up and asking questions, that is what happens when you get up and you ask the question. So I have black bucket hat here, I thought I saw Baby J as well. So that's number 3, I need 2 more. And I don't see, I need somebody who's in the back of the room and a female. Okay, so we have somebody there. So we're gonna take the black bucket hat, Devante, and the young lady, the gentleman here in the red shirt, and the young lady at the back. So bucket hat, you're up first. Should have said Big Jane instead.
Okay, so the question is, in the early stage, how you go about promoting music so you can reach people? It's a two question in one. And the deals. How do you go about selecting the correct deal? Because with the music, depending on who you publish your music with, because you know with the music it's actually 200%. But some people would take more than 100, so they would keep 100 for themselves, and then tell you the fees and what's not come out to the other 100 that is supposed to go to you. So,
all right. The good thing now with marketing is we as in this generation we have a lot easier than Dennis Brown, Bob Marley. We have the power of social media. And we take that light. So more time we just go up on the internet and we scroll foolish crap. So you see, what I would suggest is most of the young entertainer like yourself, I would have take you as an artist, right? Yeah man. So you see, once you record the music and you know say you put in the best and you do the best, attack the internet. Instagram, social media, everything. Start where you are. So most of the times, it's not this big, because I never start off big. Me and my friend then used to go like the little party at the bar, you know, the little school and DJ, and the little barbecue. Every barbecue, me DJ, every single one. You know what I mean? Because me actually spread the word. And the next thing is to understanding the business. So what I suggest is, when me start out, I read up, like, how to sign up my music, stuff like that. Where to go. So you have this, you have BMI, you know what I mean? You have BMI, which is an international royalty publishing company. So before we even sign any deal, anything, we register with BMI, you know what I mean? Because we have to protect what we make, and we're not sure if we can make it back again, and which is going to be a youth stuff to live off of. So good question. So gaining knowledge about the business is very important. So reading up, and it don't have to be, it can be audiobooks. Because I know most of the use them sometimes, you know what I mean, the audiobooks now is very helpful. So you can just go and look on like Dr. Dre, most of those established producers, even producers from Jamaica, you know what I mean, I'm going to tell you Razzie there, you can hold some conversation with him. So you have to privy to some information. Because when you meet the lawyers them and the big label executives them have tricky things on the contracts. You know what I mean? And we know that. And most of we come from homes where our parents are not so intellectual neither. So they're just happy for we sign a contract and get some money. And 5 years, 10 years down the line we realize that we sign with life away. You know what I mean? So but I tell all of the musicians them to be keen on information regarding the music, take a time out. Me, when you don't write a song, you read a paragraph about your business, you write a next song, you educate yourself about the business again, so it go on in and so you have a better chance out there, you get me? Yeah man.
The liar is very important.
Yeah.
Respect.
Excellent. So we have, I think, yeah.
Good night, everybody. I have a question. As somebody who myself dabbles in almost every genre of music, as a singer, also plays instruments, and also writes songs, what's your suggestion in terms of getting your music out there? Because I do have songs I have published. I have some that I don't because I'm not confident enough to publish them. Even for the current election, I have a song that I haven't published. Some people have heard it, have told me to publish it, but I haven't. So, like, what's your suggestion?
By the way, the song part.
Alright, here we go on. You see, confidence is key. So me now, right now, have songs in my computer at home where I play them for myself, because I still have a little bit of doubt. We are human beings, we are now, you know what I mean? So the thing is, try and believe in yourself. You know what I mean? And you gain more confidence by, as I tell you, knowledge. And sometimes when you venture into, as I say, venture into different music, you make sure you layer yourself. So you learn about the business too, you learn about keys, you learn, proper melodies, stuff like that. So I think being confident and, as I tell you, the right circle. Find people where they're on the same direction. It don't have to be music, but they're going somewhere, so they help motivate you to. And there must be producers here who love the music. Other artists who love the music and stuff like that. So that was one of the vital things for me. When I started, I meet my friend Razzie. So I only part with musician because that's the direction what I try to go into. So all of my friends them used to have a Portmore, now they have to start part of the studio because they have to come with me. You understand what I say? Because of that direction there. You know what I mean? But I think just have a lot of confidence and, you know what I mean? From here the bridge in round this I said the song bad already. Alright, so you know what I mean? So that I one thumbs up and we are gonna listen to it. You just get to it and me and Rassi can listen to it and we can offer any aid we can. You know what I mean? Yeah man.
Excellent. I think the gentleman in the red shirt and then I have our young lady at the bar.
Good evening, everyone. My question is in regards to monetization across several platforms. I don't believe Antigua Barbuda is not a part of the YouTube partnership program, along with other platforms I would want to believe, such as TikTok, Facebook, and a lot of these social media platforms can bring in somewhat of a revenue. I know it might be a difficult question for you.
No, but before you even go further, what do you mean we're not a part of like the YouTube and? Oh, so they can't. Oh, okay. Go on. Yeah, first, so you teach me something, you see? You teach me something today.
Well, yeah. I am a YouTuber with 2 channels that have reached, they're at the stage where they're eligible for monetization, but I'm unable to do it because I'm residing here in Antigua Barbuda. I've tried to do it through other countries, but in doing so, I have asked other artists if they are monetized, and they are also not monetized. So my question is, how can these artists get around that in order to get their music monetized, especially on YouTube? That's where everybody's go-to is.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a really good one. But definitely we'd have to look into that and do some more research on that, because that don't sound...
Maybe you might need a YouTube with foreign information.
Yeah, that, and then you probably don't even have a foreign address privy to sending money and collecting money, and they might see it as fraud. So. Yeah, exactly. And I think that are too much. Well, that definitely need to change. I think we need to advocate for that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Prime Minister. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need to advocate for that because personally, we have a lot of talents here. You know what I mean? And yeah, the culture is similar to Jamaica. When we're there, it's no different. You know, the energy, the vibration, and I think musically, Antigua have a lot to offer. You know what I mean? So, yeah man, that should be resolved. Big up, great question, warrior. Yeah man, yeah.
Excellent question, and we have our last question in the back.
My question is, as you said, your family and so persuaded to write the music that you write, your stories,
yes.
Your stories. What persuaded you to stay on that path? Because other artists will write about guns and drugs and so forth and other things. What persuaded you to stay on that path with the stories that you sing about?
Repeat the last part.
What persuaded you to stay on the path that the music is saying?
Yeah. As I tell you, I don't know if you can see, this is my grandma, Paman. I tattoo my grandma, Paman. So, I grew in a humble home. I grew up. So, I grew up in Sunday school. I grew in a humble home. But now I'm going to tell you something, never, you know, I grew in a harsh environment, and at some point I become a product of my environment, and I mean. So, I was one of them kids too where my father had to come police station, not look at things, but you know, it's it's changing and not wanting to let down my family what caused a major change in my life. So, you know, I live for my family, I'm big for my family, I don't do everything by myself. So I still question my dad right now. If something I go wrong, I say, yo, dad, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? I'm never too big. My friend can tell you know what I mean? So my family is a big part of my life and decision making. So with that being said, I don't want to embarrass them. And I don't want, everything is not about me. And everything is not about, you know what I mean? The ego or the hype. I have my son, he have to go live when me gone. You know what I mean? My mom, I go about her day. I have my father away. They have nothing to do with music and the slackness and you know certain things. So I just try to uphold a certain standard because again we have kids that listen to my music. You know what I mean? But I just really want my family proud of me. I want to set a good legacy where people can look back and say, you know, so Masicka did start off a certain way, but it ended up transition and make a major marker in a music and in a life. Yeah, man.
Excellent. And we're going to take just one more question from, so we have two more questions. One from Patreon, right? And somebody else had their hand up over on this side. And gentlemen here. Guys, make it brief.
Yeah. Our culture here is calypso and soca.
Yeah.
And dancehall is something that the young people like. If you really look at the global scale of music, fusion is becoming a very big thing. I'll be looking forward for collaborations with you and the soca artists here.
Yeah, man. Yes, man.
Make sure I'm on the list.
Yeah, man. Yes, man.
Okay, looks like two of our question askers are going to ask the same question, and we have our final question from this gentleman in this very nice shirt.
Yeah, greetings.
Blessings, brother.
Coming up as an artist,
Yeah.
when you start to gain attraction and attention, how you manage outside influence from, for example, people who want to gain access to you, work with you, and you know, think they can boss you out.
Yes. That's a good question. Because I go meet a lot of people like those. You know what I mean? And the thing is, trust in a team. So, what I mean by that is, Razzie might not be the most talented producer in the world, but I believe in talent and he believes in me. So, it limits me doubting him and trying to go everywhere, go set a cup, because you can get poison. So we have to have a little pride in searching for our dreams also, where we have a little dignity and a little pride and believing in ourselves and ourselves. We start off with these set of people. The only way we move them is if they not do them job right and they not function properly. But we're not going to turn our back from where we're coming from. So how I handle that is, for one, me's a reserved person. So I'm not really, you know what I mean, outgoing and rare and you get what I say, but for that question, what I tell you is, if you eventually have reached that level, when you reach that level, you have to just try and remember where you're coming from, all of the people that serve you and was good to you, you know what I mean, will help out, lending hand, and you keep them in mind, you know, and you just keep your heart clean and opportunities will come, you turn down the ones that are bad, you engage the ones that are good, but you just have to open your mind and work with people and do your best way you can do, but at the same time stay grounded and don't sell out who help you on the journey, who put you on the path, and yeah.
Okay, I keep saying this is our last question. And let me see if we can accommodate anything else. No? Okay, so I didn't say no, he said no. But I'm sure that this is not our last opportunity to have this conversation. This is the beginning of a relationship that I think will really alter the landscape of the music industry in not just Antigua Barbuda, but I think it will ripple out to the rest of the Caribbean. So thank you so much to everyone who have asked the question, and of course, not our last conversation. If you do still have questions afterwards, I'm sure there are people here who can answer some of those questions for you afterwards. So thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to hand over the mic. I'm being told we have an a cappella happening. Well, I guess he's being told to. So it's our friend here who asked the bold question, who will be doing that for us. So, yes, he is doing that. So I'm going to give him the mic. We only sing karaoke, so I'm going to give him the mic and we're going to give him.
Good evening, good night everybody. My name is Edwin Campos, aka Chapo. Also, in the dancehall game, trying to do the soca recently, but pertaining to what he's been talking about today, I hope everybody get a good insight somehow this acapella for give Sometimes in our life, nothing not go your way. Things are go happen when you aim for the great. Stay true to yourself, but you never go fail. We say aim for the plane when you damage the race. Dirty bad mind, why you fi go jail, if you go need dance all over the states. Stop money here we have to prepare, but can't trust a girl cause them too fake. We say trust myself. There's a lot more. Trust me, there's a lot more. There's a lot more. There's a lot more.
Lyrics of fire. I mean, you're leaving very soon. We have to. So I know that you and the Prime Minister have a song together.
We don't Masicka as it. No.
Okay, since we can't hear that, let's hear something else. You want to hear something else? Yeah? Alright.
My dog starts selling white stone like carpet. All them a go like we know hungry before. All them a go like we know. You have to make it when you Crips in a cup and a no. All them a go like say we born in a. Where say that I hit I don't want more, because the microphone kinda low, You far, you don't stay strong. Who said that? Come sing it for me now. Where say can't sing it for me? Yes man, listen every time. And just speak up all of the youth and stay focused. You know what I mean? More or less the message I will do now. You get what I say, remember I'm telling you, some things can reason out for a 5 minutes and it will cost you 15 years in a prison. Yeah, you're bridging up some reasoning out. We don't have to stop nobody, we don't have to shoot. Only for life out, trust me. You know what I mean? I mean I come from similar environment, if not even worse. You get what I say, so you can use my life, you know what I mean, Razzie, and know say, better out there, you know what I mean? Definitely. Big up the Prime Minister every time, you understand? Yeah.
Just before we go, we have other photo opportunities. I'd like to re-invite the Prime Minister to close us off this evening. No, wait, sorry. I'm inviting Gassy Dread this time. The Prime Minister is at the building and Gassy Dread is here.
Thank you very much, my dear. Thank you for being an excellent host. And I certainly want to thank Masicka for spending the last hour and a half here with us and literally sharing his story with you. As you may recognize, his story is your story, and I hope that many of you will emulate him. In fact, I also want to reconfirm my offer to this young man. I don't know you that well, but you look the part. You look like as though you can be an international artist, and I'm backing you, 100%. And as I said to all of you earlier, do not limit your ambition. Do not worry about your station in life today. Think about the future and be disciplined, work hard, and work to be a better youth, work to be a productive citizen. And I'm quite sure that many of you will turn out to be extremely valuable citizens to this country. So once again, I want to thank you all for coming out in your numbers. And I'm sure there'll be other engagements to get other artists. In fact, I believe that Masicka will be returning on the 25th of this month. Yes, we'll be having the Labour Party grand finale. We'll have a number of artists, and if Masicka is available, we'll invite him to join us again to bust a few songs, and maybe get one from Gaston. Good night.
Don't leave us just yet. I want to thank everybody for coming up this evening, for being engaged.